What if a weapon could travel so fast that by the time you detect it, it's already too late? Imagine something moving at more than 5 times the speed of sound, twisting and turning through the atmosphere. Impossible to predict, impossible to stop. This is not science fiction. This is the reality of hypersonic weapons, and right now, the world's most advanced defense systems are struggling to keep up. To understand why hypersonic weapons are such a big deal, we need to start with the basics. The term, hypersonic, refers to anything traveling at speeds greater than Mach 5. That's 5 times the speed of sound, or roughly over 6,000 kilometers per hour. At that speed, a missile could cross entire countries in minutes. But speed alone is not what makes these weapons revolutionary. Traditional ballistic missiles have been traveling at hypersonic speeds for decades. The difference is how hypersonic weapons move. There are 2 main types. The first is the hypersonic glide vehicle. This type is launched into space using a rocket, just like a ballistic missile. But instead of following a predictable arc back to Earth, it detaches and glides through the atmosphere at extreme speeds. During this glide phase, it can maneuver, change direction, and adjust its path. The second type is the hypersonic cruise missile. This one stays within the atmosphere for its entire flight and uses advanced engines, like scramjets, to maintain hypersonic speeds. Unlike traditional cruise missiles, which are relatively slow and easier to track, hypersonic cruise missiles combine speed with flexibility. And that combination is what makes them so dangerous. Think about how modern air defense systems work. Radars scan the skies, detect incoming threats, calculate their trajectory, and then launch interceptors to destroy them. This system works well against traditional threats because those threats follow predictable paths. But hypersonic weapons don't play by those rules. First, they fly at much lower altitudes compared to ballistic missiles. This means they can stay below the radar horizon for longer, reducing the time available for detection. By the time radar systems pick them up, they are already very close to their target. Second, they are highly maneuverable. A traditional missile follows a path that can be calculated. A hypersonic weapon can change direction mid-flight, making it extremely difficult to predict where it will go. This unpredictability creates a nightmare scenario for defense systems. Third, there is the issue of speed. At Mach 5 and beyond, reaction time shrinks dramatically. Even a delay of a few seconds in detection or decision-making can mean the difference between intercepting the missile and missing it entirely. To put it simply, current defense systems are designed to deal with either fast but predictable threats, or slow but maneuverable ones. Hypersonic weapons combine both speed and maneuverability, creating a gap in existing defenses. Now let's talk about who is leading this race. Several countries are heavily investing in hypersonic technology, but 3 names stand out: the United States, China, and Russia. Russia has been particularly vocal about its hypersonic capabilities. It has claimed operational deployment of systems like the Avangard glide vehicle and the Kinjal missile. These weapons are presented as nearly unstoppable, capable of penetrating any existing missile defense system. China, on the other hand, has made rapid progress in testing and development. Its hypersonic programs are seen as highly advanced, with multiple successful tests demonstrating long-range capabilities and precision targeting. The United States is also deeply involved, focusing on both offensive and defensive hypersonic technologies. While it may have entered the race later in terms of public deployment, it is investing heavily in research, testing, and future systems. This is not just a technological competition. It is a strategic one. Hypersonic weapons have the potential to change the balance of power because they can bypass traditional missile defenses and deliver strikes with very little warning. So why exactly can't current defense systems stop them? The first challenge is detection. Radar systems are optimized for certain types of trajectories. Ballistic missiles go high into space, making them easier to detect early. Cruise missiles fly low but are relatively slow. Hypersonic weapons blur these categories. They can fly low and fast, appearing on radar much later than expected. The second challenge is tracking. Once detected, a system needs to continuously track the object to predict its path. But if the missile can change direction at hypersonic speeds, tracking becomes extremely complex. Small changes in trajectory can lead to massive differences in final impact point. The third challenge is interception. Even if you know where the missile is and where it might go, you still need to hit it. Interceptors must be fast enough to catch up and precise enough to collide with a target moving at incredible speeds. At hypersonic velocities, even tiny errors in timing or positioning can result in a miss. There is also the issue of heat and plasma. As hypersonic vehicles travel through the atmosphere, they generate intense heat, creating a plasma cloud around them. This can interfere with radar signals and communications, making tracking even harder. All of these factors combined mean that traditional missile defense systems are simply not designed for this kind of threat. But that doesn't mean the situation is hopeless. Around the world, researchers and defense agencies are working on new solutions. One promising area is space-based detection systems. Satellites equipped with advanced sensors could track hypersonic weapons from launch to impact, providing earlier warning and better tracking data. Another approach involves improving interceptor technology. New types of missiles are being developed specifically to engage hypersonic targets, with higher speeds, better guidance systems, and enhanced maneuverability. Artificial intelligence is also expected to play a major role. AI systems can process vast amounts of data in real time, helping to predict trajectories and make split-second decisions that human operators simply cannot match. Then there is the concept of directed energy weapons, such as lasers. In theory, a high-energy laser could engage a hypersonic weapon at the speed of light, eliminating the need for physical interception. While this technology is still developing, it represents a potential game changer in the future. Despite these efforts, there is still a significant gap between the capabilities of hypersonic weapons and the systems designed to stop them. For now, offense has the advantage. This creates a new kind of strategic tension. When one side has weapons that cannot be reliably intercepted, it changes how conflicts are planned and how deterrence works. It raises questions about stability, escalation, and the risk of rapid, unpredictable strikes. And that is why hypersonic weapons are more than just another advancement in military technology. They represent a shift in how warfare could be conducted in the coming years. So where does this leave us? Right now, hypersonic weapons are leading the race. They are faster, more flexible, and more difficult to counter than anything that came before them. Defense systems are evolving, but they are still catching up. The real question is not whether these weapons can be stopped today. The question is how long it will take before defenses become effective enough to neutralize them. Because in the world of military technology, no advantage lasts forever. For now, hypersonic weapons have changed the game. And until defense systems find a way to catch up, they remain one of the most powerful and unsettling developments in modern warfare.